second only to a mic drop. Luka Doncic finishes EuroBasket like a man reminding the league what he already is, a generational scorer, a playmaker, the kind of player who forces franchises into urgent choices. That summer performance didn't just pad highlight reels, it reset the Lakers' internal deadline clock. Suddenly, the question isn't, can we wait? It's how fast can we build a team worthy of this guy? Diario AS, here's the nucleus of the shift. Doncic committed long-term to the Lakers, and he left Europe playing at the kind of peak that makes front offices uncomfortable with gradualism. For an organization that had been careful to preserve cap flexibility for the next summer, Luka's extension changed the calculus from patience to ambition. The franchise now has a clearer mandate to try and maximize his prime while it's here. That's not corporate poetry. That's balance sheet and competitive reality colliding. NBC Sports with that. So, being more aggressive actually mean in practical terms? The short answer, add a high-impact two-way wing. Someone who can defend 1 to 4, hold their own in perimeter switches, and still provide enough scoring punch to fit without disrupting Doncic's gravity. That's why names like Andrew Wiggins have suddenly entered the Lakers' radar. Wiggins offers the kind of length and switchability blueprint the Lakers need next to a ball-dominant star. Defensive chops, the ability to hit open threes, and enough offensive floor tilt that you don't have to re-engineer the offense around him. CBSSports.com. But the rumor mill hides a set of very real constraints. Wiggins is expensive this season, roughly $28 million, and carries a player option north of $30 million next year. The Lakers are sitting right up against the first apron, which is a de facto hard line for in-season maneuvering. That means they don't have the wiggle room to just add a multi-year salary without creative salary matching, third-team help, or waiting for next summer when LeBron's contract situation frees up significant space. Translation: an in-season blockbuster is possible, but it requires coordination and likely a three-team dance, not a simple one-for-one pickup. And let's talk mechanics. If the Lakers want Wiggins, they'd probably need a Heat willing to trim salary and a third team, say Brooklyn or another club with cap space, to eat or shuffle contracts and trade exceptions. Those swaps are legal and happen all the time, but they demand aligned incentives. The Heat must prefer payroll flexibility or different assets, the third team must view the deal as net beneficial for its timeline, and the Lakers have to be willing to surrender rotation pieces, draft assets, or young upside. That's why the chatter about Wiggins reads as feasible, not inevitable. Lakerholics lies holics. Now, the strategic trade-offs. Acquire Wiggins, and you get a guarded perimeter force who reduces matchup problems and lets Doncic operate with fewer defensive cheats. You also take on a contract that tightens your financial leash next summer and potentially limits the scope of future upgrades. Keep your flexibility and wait until 2026, and you might still have the chance to hit the market with much more space, but you risk leaving Doncic's prime undersupported for at least 1 year. It's the classic buy now or save for later problem, except in this case, the asset in question is a once-in-a-generation playmaker on a team that now knows he's staying. SI. There's also roster fit to chew on. Wiggins isn't a true point-of-attack creator. He won't replace a primary ball handler or a rim protector. He's a complementary piece. If LA fits him in, the supporting cast around Doncic still needs rebounding, defensive bigs who rotate well, and guards who can hit catch-and-shoot looks consistently. That's why the Lakers front office has also been linked to other moves that shore up the front court and bench depth. The goal is a balanced chessboard that makes Doncic's gravity a team weapon, not a dependency that collapses when the ball moves or bigs get doubled. Lakers Nation risk assessment time. Wiggins has been a championship role player before, but he's also had streaky seasons and health questions as he nears his 30s. The Lakers must ask, does the marginal defensive upgrade and floor spacing justify surrendering future draft capital or hard cash flexibility? It's easy to get dazzled by the immediate headline, Lakers land Wiggins, and forget that successful title runs are built on depth and balance. Sacrifice too much now, and you might pop your roster's long-term viability in pursuit of a short window. Get the fit right, and you give Doncic a clear path to turning elite individual seasons into team trophies. Heavy sports. So what's the smarter short-term play? My read: prioritize low-friction upgrades now. Veterans on reasonable deals who cover defensive switches, plus a back-end rotation big who can rebound and defend, while keeping an active watch on the Wiggins market. If the Heat decide salary is a problem and a clean three-team swap appears, pull the trigger. If not, protect the cap flexibility and set up for a larger, cleaner window next summer when LeBron's enormous salary comes off the books and the Lakers can do deals without the apron shackles. That's the try now, preserve later playbook. NBC Sports Fly. There's also the cultural component. Luka's EuroBasket dominance is more than stats. It's a signal to teammates and front office staff that the franchise has a renewed sense of urgency. Players respond to that. Agents respond to that. Free agents and trade targets measure not just payroll, but perceived competitive will. When a franchise stops hedging and starts hunting, it broadcasts intent, and that can change the dynamics of negotiations in subtle but meaningful ways. Teams smell a deadline and either meet it or try to profit from it. The Lakers are now clearly in the former camp. Diario AS. Finally, the scoreboard test. None of this matters unless the upgrades actually produce more wins in April. You can win trade battles and lose playoff series. The Lakers' long-term success will be decided in the postseason, where depth, health, and tactical stability win series, not headlines. The best-case scenario is simple and audacious. Use Doncic's commitment as leverage to add the right two-way wings and supporting cast. Then let the duo of Doncic and LeBron, or whichever ceiling LeBron chooses, play out on a roster built to survive playoff attrition. The alternative is more subtle but real. Overpay now and get strangled by future cap hell. Either path is a bet. It's just a question of what the organization values more, a now or never tilt or a patient optimization for the next multi-year window. Sai, if you need one tight takeaway to hang on to, Luka's European statement didn't just excite LA fans, it forced the front office to decide whether to accelerate the timeline. That decision will shape how the Lakers spend and trade over the next 12 months and whether they pursue imperfect but ready upgrades like Andrew Wiggins now or hold their breath for a clearer runway in 2026. Both choices carry reward and risk, and both will define the next chapter of this roster. NBC Sports. Luka Doncic just reminded everyone he's still a generational force, and the Lakers quietly shifted gears because of it. After dominating EuroBasket, Doncic's summer performance didn't just turn heads overseas. It changed LA's front office roadmap. What was once a patient plan to hoard cap space is suddenly looking much more push-button. If the right upgrade is available, the Lakers want to pounce now. Why that matters? Doncic's extension removed the biggest unknown, his long-term commitment, and that gave the Lakers permission to be more aggressive. The priority? Add a two-way wing who can defend and space the floor so Doncic and LeBron can operate without constant pressure. Enter Andrew Wiggins, the kind of versatile perimeter piece the Lakers covet. He's a proven defender who still scores and hits threes, an upgrade over current options if the price aligns. But the math is brutal. LA sits right up against the apron. The team is essentially hard-capped for big additions, and Wiggins carries serious salary with a player option next year. Any transaction that puts Miami or another team in a position to shed Wiggins' contract will likely require a third team to absorb salary. Think Brooklyn or another club with cap room. In short, it's doable, but complicated. What the front office is weighing. Do you sacrifice future flexibility and draft assets to chase Doncic's window now? Or do you preserve ammo for a bigger swing next summer when LeBron's massive salary comes off the books? The sensible play is split timing. Probe the market now for feasible one-year or short-term upgrades, but hold the heavier leverage for 2026 when real cap space opens. Practical reality this season: expect phone calls, exploratory trade chatter, and a willingness to structure multi-team deals. Expect a high bar too. The Lakers won't mortgage the future on a logistics nightmare. If a clean three-team structure emerges that improves the wing without wrecking the balance, LA will strike. If not, the larger, clearer opportunity arrives next offseason. Bottom line, Doncic's summer didn't just pump up the highlights reel, it accelerated the Lakers' urgency to win now. They're hunting for the kind of two-way wing that fits next to Luka and LeBron, but cap rules and timing mean any move will be clever, not careless. Watch for subtle offseason maneuvers now and a bigger, more decisive window in 2026.